Guys need an extra voice for this one?
Hey Ronnie, do you want to run up front?
The Pasky Sports Cardiac Truck Series, powered by XS Sim Gear, is on the air. Live from Daytona International Speedway. It's dual race number 1. This broadcast being brought to you by XS Sim Gear. For all your sim racing peripherals, you can find them on their Facebook page, XS Sim Gear. Button boxes, gauge clusters, all at a reasonable price. This broadcast also being brought to you by Pulmonary Hypertension Awareness, one of the most difficult to diagnose diseases on the planet because it masks itself with so many different symptoms. For more information on how you can bring awareness to this disease, we ask that you go to phaware.global or phaware.org. Tonight's overlay being brought to you by PZ Overlays. Paul Zoda providing some of the most beautiful overlays in all of iRacing. For more information, you can find him on his Facebook page, Paul Zoda. Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you tonight, joined with me by my partners in crime, my brothers from another mother, Mr. Sam Cooper Bennett, and for at least for this race, we have Mr. Kevin Paskowich. Gentlemen, how are you?
I'm watching this with anticipation because this is a different format to what we usually see with the Pasky's Truck Series, so I'm very interested to see how this pans out.
Well,
Yeah, go ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, KP.
Pardon?
Go ahead. I know what you were going to say. You were going to say something.
I was just going to say that we have a lot of new drivers joining us, so it's kind of a chance to feel them out and see how they do. But also, we're setting the field for the season opening race.
Setting the field for the season opener, which will take place next week. We will be bringing you that live here on Bofa Broadcasting. We're proudly joining the Pasky's family coming up here. Vehicle's starting to grid up, and I gotta laugh. Alex used the roof of the pace car. Okay. So, starting up on the pole, representing the Mid-South, is going to be Mr. Ronnie Osmer. He's joined with Texas boy Greg Napier. Row number 2 is going to go to Chad Witt out of out of Club, Ohio. He's joined with the Mid-Atlantic's Glenn Grimm. Row number 3 is going to see Texas boy Dustin Stalewski. I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, I'm sorry. He's joined with Virginia's own Devin Doss. Pennsylvanian Brad Ray and Mid-South Racing Club's Brandon Stokes are going to make up row number 4. And row 5 is going to go to Virginia's Robert Payne and Texas's Lonnie Barrington. Sam?
1 second. Row 5. Row 6 will be Sean Weaver and James McDavid. Row 7 will be Isaiah Dupree and Johnny Antonucci. Row 8 will be Zach White and Travis Elliott. Row 9 will be Alex Green and Mike Whitaker. And rounding out the whole field and starting shotgun on the field will be Shane Norton and Bradley Allison.
So 30 laps of scheduled distance here tonight. And like we mentioned before, it's going to be a slightly different format than we're used to seeing. As the hell just happened?
I have no idea.
Good question.
I think my programs just took a shit on me. Awesome. Because I have absolutely no info right now.
Bear with me, I'm going to check if we're still live.
Hopefully we're still live.
I'm just going to check now.
Sim racing apps took a or not sim racing apps. ATVO took a poo on me.
Yeah, it's been doing that a lot lately. I think when it's usually due an update, it just really just doesn't want to play. So
bear with us, folks, as the field working its way through the 3-4 complex. At least we got through the grid up as, of course, my screen goes black.
And I can confirm we are still live on Facebook and YouTube.
Oh, welcome to my hell.
As the pace car comes off now.
Green flag.
Waiting for it to get going. Ronnie Osmond gets him going. We've got 30 laps here at Daytona in the very first duel of the season. And Greg Napier already taken to that outside line with, looks like Chad Witt right behind him and Justin Stilewski.
It's Devin Doss in the 17.
Okay. I don't have my ATVO up, so I don't know who's where. So
it's Chad Witt in the 77 and the 11 of Stokes. These guys working their way down the back straightaway. Napier with a nose out front.
Yeah, he just got a heck of a run. That outside line just got a heck of a run down the backstretch, guys. Got Greg out in front, but Ronnie's going to come back on the inside.
Well, that is the preferred line, at least early on. When you've got 4 Mr. Fieldgoods on the car, or truck in this case, the inside line is where you want to be. It's only when the truck starts to get a little bit greasy that you're going to want to be in that outside line to keep it wound up.
And something else too, this track has started in a completely clean state, so a lot of debris out on the track. They're kicking up a lot of gravel, and as these tires get hot and greasy, they're going to slip around all the more.
Well, yeah, and that's something to look towards as we get closer to the end. Is a hell of a bump draft going on down the back straightaway with Osmer and 77 of Witt right there. Little bit squirrely coming out of 4 though. Hang on to her, kids. Give that lap to Napier by a truck line.
Yeah, he's actually got the clear now after getting a decent push off Brandon Stokes. Is Greg Napier going to drop down, or is he going to stay on the high line? It looks like he's got no choice but to stay on the high line, because here comes Ronnie Osmer again being pushed by Chad Witt.
Yeah, and I need to point out, guys, Ronnie is running a really special paint job in memory of James Hilton, who of course is a NASCAR legend and a legend in the ARCA garage as well, who passed away in an accident this past weekend. So Ronnie with ARCA, of course, very near and dear to his heart. That's why that car's painted up all red and shiny this week.
I was going to ask you if that was the reason behind that, as Hilton known for running red cars throughout his career.
Yes, so Ronnie with Phenomenal Evolution is running the special paint job this week in memory of James Hilton.
Well, with any luck, James will be riding shotgun with him, and it'll bring him some pretty decent luck, because if I remember correctly, James Hilton was a hell of a competitor on the late tracks.
Yes, he actually almost became the oldest man to start a Daytona 500 here just a couple of years ago. At the age of 78, he missed out qualifying in the dual race by a single position, and at that only a couple of
As Greg Napier's still got a nose out in front as they come in towards turns 1 and 2, still being pushed by Brandon Stokes. So really good running on that outside line in the early part of this race, as we are now on lap 5 of 30. Ronnie Osmer just doesn't seem to be able to cope with that outside line right now.
Well, he's got to have some help from the 77 to Chad Witt, and Witt being new to the series, is not comfortable pushing quite as hard as he probably is going to need to get that inside line to really start to march forward.
Right. I mean, on his outside in that top line, Brandon Stokes in that 11 car is an incredible restricted plate racer. Really will push the pud out of anybody who's in front of him. So that right now is the big difference.
And you almost have to think that with these guys already working lap 6, you almost wonder how long can they keep this up before somebody's going to get a little over-aggressive and step on their own junk and take everybody with them.
Well, I want to know how long it's going to be before somebody starts overheating. I mean, Brandon hasn't been more than 2 feet off that back bumper of Greg Napier since the green flag. And it's not going to be too much longer before somebody starts seeing some red flashing gauges on their dashboard.
Well, if you notice, he is ducking out a little bit. And what I noticed the last time that I was a pusher, I was in a NIS race at Daga with Forrest Sparks. Where the 11 is right now, if he can stay right there with about just the headlight and maybe a little bit more of the front bumper outside and not really actually making physical contact with Greg's truck, they're going to get the benefits of the draft, but there's also still going to be cooling going to the engine. So you can run like that for probably, I think we did 35 laps without any issues. Now, that was with a full boat of fuel in a cup car, too, so.
Speaking of going for a race with no issues, they are still 2x2 as we are now 23 laps to go. Greg Napier still with the nose out in front, and nobody really making a very high-powered move right now. So everybody just taking their time and getting a feel for this track as they come right out turn 2 onto the backstretch.
And you just hit the nail on the head. These guys know that there's enough time left that it's a little too early to be making dumb moves like this, and we're probably gonna need to see a green flag pit stop anyway should this stay green, so it's not go time yet.
Right, I mean, we're 30 laps. I don't remember if Alex put this at 50 or 100% fuel, but yeah, it's no fast repairs, no nothing. This is running just like a real race. So these guys really, right now, just trying to feel each other out, just trying to run the track. And, when it gets down 6, 7 to go, then I think we're going to start seeing pushing pretty wide, lots of contact.
Right, and in the meantime, these guys are just making sure that they've got something for when it is, with inside that 10 to go window, that they have the vehicle up on the track and still running relatively damage-free.
Absolutely. Let's we've got one person darting inside and out. That looks like Isaiah Dupree. That's actually jumping between the 2 lines in the mid-pack, trying to find a decent spot to gain some positions up there.
Well, I'm thinking Isaiah was not really happy with who his dancing partners were back there. So he was trying to get away from the apron so that in case something went horribly wrong, he had at least some form of a shot at reacting.
Yeah, and they're coming up on the back of someone that looks like Bradley Allison that they are catching. So I'm going to come upon some lap traffic very, very soon.
And that is Allison in the 03. Looks like he may have pit started. And this is where it gets interesting. 3 wide through the tri-oval. So far, so good.
The entrance to these corners seem to be where the problem lies, but I think everyone's going to get by clean.
Okay, that was a pucker moment for me, and I'm not even on the track.
Yeah, and the next lap car they are going to come up onto, and it's going to be very soon, is Glenn Grimm, as he's just coming into turn 3 now, and the leaders are just on the backstretch right now, so they're going to be catching that number 12 very soon as well.
Well, you're talking about almost a 20-mile-an-hour difference in the speed between the pack that's charging and Glenn Grimm right now. So, his spotter's got to know that this is coming, and whether or not he can hold the line, I would assume he can, but we're about to find out, I think, unfortunately.
Yeah, as it looks like Greg Napier is actually starting to try and consider coming down to the bottom line to maybe fend off Ronnie Osmer, but at this point in the race, he really does not want to lose his pusher right now as they're really coming up on Glenn Grimm right now.
And Glenn Glenn Grimm, wow, that's really hard to say, is one of our new rookies. So, you know, that's something that we're paying attention to, is how these guys handle themselves in different situations.
Hold on to her, kid.
Yeah, he's not doing too bad.
Oh, 19 into the wall.
Oh,
Robert, hang on to her. The entire field just dodged a bullet right there.
And while we were calling this, guys, Ronnie Osmer's got out front.
Yeah, I think they all had to use a bit of their avoidance tactics there to get around Grimm, and that kind of helped Ronnie Osmer get a bit more of a push going through the turns 1 and 2, and yeah, with all that momentum on the bottom line, Greg Napier just couldn't cope with it, as Brandon Stokes actually dropped back as well.
Well, Stokes was the first one to blink, where he caught Grimm. Where he caught Grimm, it was definitely a scary moment. So I'm thinking, you know, Stokes did the right thing and just backed right off. But now, full tilt boogie again, right back to the bumper of the 2 of Napier. And he's got the nose of that truck out front now as they work their way down the super stretch here at Daytona. Oh, there it is.
And I don't think we're going to get a caution. Those guys were down off onto the grass, guys.
Yeah, that was Sean Weaver and Shane Norton getting into it.
Two more rookies.
Dang. Well then, let's go back to that battle for the lead.
Give that lap to Napier.
30 thousandths of a second at the line. Wow. And just so you folks realize just how close that is, you blink your eye in 70 thousandths of a second.
Yeah, that's quick. Oh, that was Chad Witt getting on the apron just a little bit there.
Catching the apron, but you know, you can tell. Oh, that not something I expected to see. Is Osmer moves up.
I think he must have got sick of his dancing partner, because he wants that draft from Napier and Stokes. And I don't think he wants to give that lead up again, because he knows that Napier has got something for him tonight.
You know, Napier's got something for him, and Napier has been around long enough to know that even if he doesn't win this one, he's going to be starting in the same position, sitting right now where he is, which would be starting right behind Ronnie Osmer. And that's not a bad place to be starting the inaugural race of Season 2. But here comes Stokes on the inside, and Osmer playing both halves against the middle. He's going with whoever's got the momentum.
Yeah, I was going to say, Ronnie's doing, I think we call it the old Earnhardt dance. Just, you know, choosing his line to run, you know, to run with whoever's going faster at that moment.
And that was Zach White coming out of pit road there, just as the field came around the first 2 corners. I wonder if green flag pit stops are starting to be a factor right now.
Well, so far the only people that have taken it down pit road are the people who have had the pucker moment, shall we say?
Yeah, Johnny Antonucci's been on pit road for nearly 2 minutes, so I wonder if he was caught up with that incident between Sean Weaver and Shane Norton.
Well, one of the guys I would like to mention is Johnny's teammate over at Pinnacle Motorsports, the 707, the world's fastest hippie, Mr. Mike Whitaker, again rocking another awesome tie-dye paint scheme tonight.
Yeah,
work his way up.
I've raced with Mike now several times here at Daytona, Talladega. He is very, very sneaky. He kind of lays back, but when you get down to 12 laps to go,
3 wide into turn number 1. I'm sorry, turn 3.
This could be interesting.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah, Chad Witt, we've never seen him out here before, and he's really doing well on his debut. Gets a nose out in front as he comes out of turn 4. He's got Bradley Stokes to his outside as Ronnie Osmer falls in behind the number 11. There is Mike Whitaker as well on that inside as well, and he's bringing Alex Green with him too. So 2 more cars coming to the fore as we're going to see a very different battle appear very soon.
And I'd like to point out that Mike Whitaker is one of, if not the best pushers in all of iRacing.
Yeah, he's just amazing at restrictor plate tracks, and he just kind of sneaks up on you. You'll see him back in 22nd, 23rd of a big race. And in the blink of an eye, he's, up there in that front pack, running 2nd, 3rd, 4th, like he is right now.
If I can interrupt real quick, guys, I've been informed by Greg and Brandon that they have enough fuel to go the distance. There will be no green flag pit stops.
Okay. Much obliged, John. And of course, you are hearing the voice of Mr. John Napier, one of the higher-ups at the series sponsor, XS Sim Gear. Now, John, while we got you here, can we get some information on what you guys are planning on doing? I've heard it's sim racing peripherals at a price that just about every working person can afford.
That's the idea. What we're aiming to do, we're working really hard on R&D, and we'll take a little bit longer on that R&D if we have to, in order to make a product that's not only quality, but like you said, the average working Joe can afford it. And also a product that you don't need a $20,000 sim rig to use. They'll mount straight to your desk, straight to your wheel, and that sort of thing.
All right, that is the greatest idea in the history of ever. And for more information, they can currently find you guys on your Facebook page, XS Sim Gear, the letter X, the letter S, Sim Gear on Facebook, correct?
Correct.
All right.
We'll be launching our website this Friday.
Oh, there's a wreck.
Oh,
That's the big one.
me.
That's the big one.
What?
Oh.
And Ronnie Osmer's engine just hand grenaded.
Yeah, he got ARCA braked.
Let's watch what happened again.
It looks like Alex Green is the cause of that one.
Yeah, Alex getting into the back of Mike Whitaker. 2-car tangos work, 3-car tangos not so much.
And that just took out all of our leaders.
Wow. As phenomenal evolutions, Alex Green, the architect of the incident, but look where it's put him. It's put him up to 2nd place.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think he took out 2 teammates in that whole thing.
Yeah.
Ronnie Osmer.
Ronnie Osmer, Robert Payne involved in that one. Greg getting involved in that one. Shane Norton ducking the bullet. Looks like, yep, there's the 19 of Payne.
Yeah, we're only going to have a couple of cars left for the last lap of this. I think we're only going to have 3 trucks left.
No, we're going to have more than that.
Everyone's got a fast repair right there.
No.
No.
Oh, no, then that's it. So Napier out, Allison still running but a lap down, Glenn Grimm a lap down, Ronnie Osmer out, Weaver out, Zach White still out on track but he's 2 laps down, Johnny Antonucci still in pit road, he is 7 laps down, so we've still got 13 cars still running, so a lot more than you think, but some with more damage than others.
Yeah, this turned into a junkyard real quick, as races here at Daytona are wanting to do. Man, that, a lot of good qualifiers, a lot of good runners, taken out really quick.
Yeah, there's a lot of carnage right now. Stokes getting involved in that one, in the 11. Allison getting the lucky
early. Dog. Yeah.
Whitaker, that truck has seen better days.
I think there's only 3 trucks without damage.
So the 15 is not showing any damage.
Got a couple disappointed drivers with strange nuts.
Sounds like a personal problem.
They might need a doctor might need to look at that then.
Yeah.
Gynecologist maybe?
We were just talking John, and I want to extend my sincerest apology
for your teammates'
Yeah.
actions.
Yeah, as the co-owner of that car, I'm really sorry, man.
Which car was it?
The 30.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So Witt, Green, and Staluski, the only 3 trucks not showing any damage right now, but Staluski's got camo paint, so it's kind of hard to tell.
I can't see any damage on McDavid's car either. Oh, truck, sorry.
You're not looking hard enough.
I'm looking at his left side, so I can't see what his right side looks like.
No,
yet.
that whole hood is just caved. Looks like Isaiah Dupree's got a little bit of nose damage as well. Yeah, that is definitely a bent Toyota grill on the Drive to End Brain Cancer number 93.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think he kind of pushed his way through that accident a little bit.
A little?
A lot.
A little bit? I suppose next you're going to tell me Hitler was only mildly confused? That was a lot, bitch.
Wow, that was a line that got pole vaulted over.
Wow, no kidding.
But yeah, I mean, it's a danger that we always talk about every time we come to Daytona. It doesn't matter if they're real cars, iRacing cars, it doesn't matter. There's going to be a big wreck somewhere. I don't think I've ever been through a race that it didn't happen, and it was just a matter of time when that one was going to happen, and that's when it happened.
Well, here's the good news, KP. Usually, when you have a quote dual race like this, the big one usually happens in one of the 2 races.
Woohoo! That means I'm going to be safe in my race.
You both might be, because you're both in race number 2.
Here's hope.
So I'll make the announcement now, pending approval by Joe, which I don't see there'll be a problem there. As of this race, Brandon Stokes is officially a member of Strange Nuts Racing.
Well, you did hear it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. The newest member of Strange Nuts Racing, Mr. Brandon Stokes.
Who, unfortunately, is still pit farming that truck.
Neither one of them are coming back.
Now, I just want to give a quick shout out to the people that are in the YouTube live chat right now. We have 21 people watching, so good to see you all out there showing us the support and giving this race a watch. If you're new to this, then please do not hesitate to give this a subscribe. Just want to give a shout out to Turtle Tax, Doom Titan, Six Flags 48, Alan Alphonse, who races in the Cup Series, if I'm right.
Yes.
Gregory, and that's it. But these guys are having a nice conversation in the live chat, so good to see you out there enjoying the race. And yeah, if you like it, then leave a like. Then if you're new here and you want to see more, then be sure to hit that subscribe button.
And real quick, do not go anywhere. We're not cutting away from this stream to take you to dual race number 2 immediately following this one. We're going to give a little bit of a podcast without any action on track, but just stay with us. The second dual race is going to come up as soon as they can get the lineup set. And unfortunately, it looks like the guy that's going to be setting up the lineup currently is going to be one of the ones in the interview process.
Yeah, apparently Dylan Moskowitz loves me. That's who Six Flags 48 is.
Fair enough.
Yeah, nice one, Dylan. Yeah. Good
As the lights are out on the pace car field, working its way out of turn number 4. Pace car is in, and
green flag.
We are back. 6 laps to go. It's going to be 5 to go at the stripe.
Yeah, and look at Staluski getting a run on that inside line and almost taking it straight to Alex Green. So Alex Green getting not getting off to the best starts on that restart. And here comes Staluski straight away on that restart, and Witt is just walking away already, or is he?
And look who's creeping into the picture. Damaged truck and all.
Is Izzy.
I was about to say, if these three leaders could form up, they could probably run away from the damaged trucks, but they're not going to do that. It's late. It's Daytona. They're going to race for it.
And we've seen Dupree and Green work together well in the past. It's going to be interesting to see how this one actually plays out as Green gets the clear and leaves him hanging.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting for that. Alex likes that inside. The outside does not. He doesn't like running that outside. I can tell you from experience racing with him on these tracks. So I knew as soon as he was clear, he was going to drop down low and just hope that whoever was down there could push him.
Well, he's trying to play both halves against the middle right now, and I don't know how well that's going to work for him. As, little bit of a pucker moment there as the 77 catches the apron.
Yeah, he's been doing that throughout this whole race, and it's going to catch him out if he keeps doing it, and it almost did as he nearly got into the side of Isaiah Dupree, who's now being pushed by Stalewski, who's dropped back, and the 17's there again as well.
The 17 looked like he pit farmed the daylights out of that truck.
Yeah, that's Devin Doss in that 17, and James McDavid there too in the Krispy Kreme machine. Thanks for making us hungry, mister. But yeah, Alex Green out in front and Chad Witt in second, but he keeps flirting with that apron, and like I said before, it's going to catch him out eventually if he keeps doing it.
Well, next flag ends it, because we are within 3 to go right now. Popsicle sticks, to borrow your line, Sam, are going to be out this time across the stripe.
Absolutely, as they're coming through turns 3 and 4, Alex has it. Witt and Isaiah wants it as the popsicle sticks are coming out now. We are 2 to go in the first duel of 2 here tonight.
Yeah, and I'd tell you, I mean, Alex, I kind of make fun of him for it, but he gets a little nervous out front. I guarantee his foot is glued to that floor right now, and he is just trying to stick on that yellow line. And it might be hard to get around him if he stays like that.
Well, as long as he's not doing what he normally does, and that's, drive out the rearview mirror like I've seen him do numerous times, he's going to be tough to beat right now because he seems to be holding a decent line. He's not flirting as hard with that yellow line as he could, and he's giving himself a little bit of a cushion, so if he does get it wrong, he can as they work into the tri-oval. White flag is out one more time around. Who is going to get the pole for next week's Season 2 opener?
Well, here comes Devin Doss on that outside now, being pushed by Izzy. He's stayed on that outside, but somehow Devin Doss managed to make it up into the outside line in second place. But Alex Green holding on for dear life as they come onto the backstretch there, 2 by 2. Chad Witt dropping down towards that apron again, looking for a gap and see if he can make it 3 wide. But Devin Doss, what a push he's getting from Isaiah Dupree into the lead and drops down. He's going to steal it from Alex Green. So Devin Doss from out of nowhere going to push to the front, and as they come out of turn 4 and towards the tri-oval, the number 17 has it. They're going to go 3 wide, bumping and banging for the lead. Alex Green's going to go below the apron, but Devin Doss takes it.
Doss, Green, Dupree, Witt, and Stalewski. There's your top 5. And what a finish.
Yeah, finished on the green as well, so that was a fantastic first duel. I can't wait to see what happens in the second one.
Well, just because I want to see what the second one's going to look like, the first one we're going to reach out to is your first runner-up. It's going to be starting inside row number 2 next week in the season opener back here at Daytona. That's going to be Mr. Alex Green in the Buffalo Wild Wings PH Aware number 30.
Yeah. Not the way I wanted to get it, but...
Not the way you wanted to get it, but probably a lot better than you thought it was going to end.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously I have to apologize to everybody at Wreck, especially Whitaker. I went to push him there on the inside line, and he bobbled last second. I couldn't get off the gas in time.
Well, for what it's worth, Alex, you had a hell of a run. You started way back in the field, and you were slowly climbing your way forward. Talk to us about how you were able to do that prior to the oops moment?
A lot of it was just being patient, man. It was, you know, one thing I've learned at super speedways is you can't make something happen too quick, and I stayed there in the back of the field and just tried to figure out which line had the hot hand and ride them out. What really started it all was I got up to Isaiah there, and Isaiah he got a little bit indecisive trying to go up to that high line, and I went below him, and that guy gave me the inside line and let me kind of get up to that front area. So it was just waiting for your opportunity.
Well, Alex, we're going to let you get back down in there so you can set up the next one for us, and we're looking forward to seeing how dual race number 2 turns out.
Oh, as am I. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you guys for broadcasting, and sorry again to everybody I caught up in that.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right, so...
All right, I'm going to jump down, guys. I got to go get ready, but hopefully we'll be talking to you here after the second race.
Well, best of luck to you, KP, but joining us now is the man who rounded out the podium, damaged truck and all, in the Drive to End Brain Cancer number 93, Mr. Isaiah Dupree. Izzy, that was a hell of a finish. Talk us through what you saw.
I mean, to be honest and put it in broadcastable terms, I'm pretty pissed there that a certain car number in double digits decided he didn't want to push in the final 2 laps at Daytona, but otherwise it was pretty fun getting the run up there. It's tight.
Fair enough. You know, understandable, but you know, you've worked with that driver from the double digits long enough to know that Highline's not his favorite.
Oh, I'm not talking about him. It was a different driver. I didn't mind. I knew he was going to leave me there. That's fine. I would have done the same thing, but...
All right, fair enough.
I honestly don't even know who I pushed to the win, to be honest.
That would be the 17 of Devin Doss.
There you go.
So, but, you know, talk to us how the truck was feeling. You know, we know that you guys could make it the entire way without having to, you know, to get a splash and dash. But talk to us about the feel of the setup tonight.
It felt great. Apparently, I had damage, which I didn't know. It didn't feel like it, but...
Oh, yeah, your whole grill was just caved right in, kid.
Oh. I had a feeling, but I wasn't actually sure. Aside from that, no, it felt great. It was stable anywhere. You could move around with it, and it felt stable, so it was nice. All
right. Well, so you're going to be starting inside row number 3 for next week's season opener back here at Daytona. Talk to us your thoughts about how that race is going to be... you know, play out.
Kind of hoping for a little bit more of the same here. Try to stay safe throughout most of it and make a move if it's available, but not force anything early, and hopefully be up there again for the win and get some help.
All right. Well, best of luck to you, Isaiah. You know, probably one of the winningest drivers in this grouping of you know, competition families. And I would like to point out the only driver to ever win the Roberts Tech Jobs Triple Crown.
Thank you.
So best of luck to you next week, sir.
All right, thank you. Have a good night.
User was moved out of your channel.
I do see Devin Doss up in main gate, so should we get a quick interview with him before we move on to the second duel?
We are absolutely going to reach out now to the man of the hour currently, driver of the number 17 Funimation Toyota Tundra, Mr. Devin Doss. Devin, talk us through that finish, because that was a wild finish.
That's plate racing. You never know what can happen. There for the majority of the race, I was stuck. I lost the draft at one point, and that last caution that came out really helped. Yeah, just had to make the right moves at the right time.
Well, you definitely made the right moves at the right time. Were you far enough back that you were able to actually react, or was it just pure luck to make it through the smoke and carnage?
Yeah, I had completely lost draft at that point. I was pretty hopeless. So I saw everything kind of unfold, and I could see the hole that opened up, and just cautiously went through, trying not to get any damage.
All right. Well, talk to us about Funimation, because I'm not familiar with that sponsorship.
Basically, they bring over anime from Japan. and they dub it with English voices, so it reaches a broader audience. And it's really becoming a more mainstream in the Western audience. So yeah, really glad that we brought him on.
Fair enough. So talk to us your thoughts next week when we come back here. You're going to be starting on the pole for the Season 2 opener of the Pasky's Cardiac Truck Series powered by XS Sim Gear. Talk to us what you're expecting to happen when we turn you guys loose for the big race.
I'm expecting everything that just happened in this first duel, just with a longer race. It's going to be crazy.
Fair enough. Now, first time running with the Pasky's series, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
All right. Well, sir, you are in for a treat. Congratulations on the win tonight. We're looking forward to seeing you next week. Anybody else you'd like to thank before we let you go?
I'd like to thank everyone that supported me along the way on my illustrious iRacing career of 3 years. And Baba Booey.
Okay, the first shout out to that one that we've had in a post-race interview. Congratulations again. Looking forward to seeing you next week. Howard Stern rules, all that other happy.
Hit it with the Heim.
Yeah, that one too.
Out of your channel.
Okay. Well then.
We're getting some interesting characters out here tonight, Tony.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah, no,
But,
just looking through the chats, we've seen some very unhappy drivers, but just want to give another shout out to the people in the live chat on YouTube. We have 22 people watching now, Tony. Want to give a shout out to Turtle Tax, Six Flags 48, which turns out to be Dylan Moskowitz. Tyler Vickery's in the chat, our broadcast partner.
Better late than pregnant, Tyler.
Yeah, Ronnie was in there for a bit. Kenneth Brown's in the chat. Demented Gaming, so interesting name there.
That would be Mr. Forrest Sparks.
Oh, hello, Forrest. Tony Rice was in the chat as well. I qualified, but no notification of what to do next, so maybe seeing him in the next split, the next duel. One person that will be in the next duel is Tristan Walker. He's in the chat too. So lots of people in the chat right now, getting interactive with everybody else in the chat and really enjoying the event tonight, Tony. So kudos to them. If you're new to the channel and want to see more, please not forget to hit the subscribe button and don't go anywhere. We've got one more duel to go and it's going to be off the chain. If you think that one was good, the second one's going to be better.
Well, before we head over there, we're going to give a quick rundown of the finishing order of this one. Devin Doss, of course, coming home with the victory. 49 thousandths of a second back was Alex Green, who's going to be starting inside row number 2. Isaiah Dupree is going to be inside row number 3. Chad Witt inside row number 4. Dustin Staluski is going to be inside row number 5. James McDavid in 6th. Bradley Allison in 7th. Shane Norton 8th. Robert Payne in 9th. Mike Whitaker getting caught up in that little melee, coming home in 10th. Lonnie Barrington in 11th. Glenn Grimm in 12th. 13th going to Brandon Stokes. Zach White in 14th. Travis Elliott in 15th. Bradley Ray in 16th. Greg Napier, unfortunately, that's a heartbreaker right there. Greg Napier had a hell of a run going, coming home in 17th. Ronnie Osmer in 18th. Sean Weaver 19th, and Johnny Antonucci in 20th. Sam, what a finish. What a race. I mean, these guys were too wide. We only lost a couple of cars from the draft. And, for the vast majority of this race, these guys ran 21 of 30 laps under green. And we only had just the one caution, and that's really saying volumes for the type of talent that we have here in the Pasky Sports Cardiac Truck Series powered by XS Sim Gear.
Absolutely. I mean, side-by-side racing from the green to the checkered. I mean, only one caution, and that was the actual big one that happened in the race. We had 20 cars take the green. We had a couple of retirements, and yeah, you're right about Greg Napier. Absolute heartbreak for that guy in the Prestige Vapory machine. Not getting to the finish after a horrible wreck for him. But yeah, exciting racing for the first duel, and it's just made me excited. I'm just excited to see what's going to happen in the second one.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting. Being told by race management that we have the second session going up now, so drivers man your posts as we are looking for the next one to go up. Should be going up momentarily here as Alex just hit the send button. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for dual race number 1. Hang with us here as Sam and I are both going to jump out of this session. You guys are going to stay with us here as the second one going up.
Yeah, just want to give a couple of people a few shout-outs while we're switching over to the next session. Just going to give a shout-out to XS Sim Gear if you want some cheap gear for your computer for any iRacing or any
inexpensive.
For an inexpensive price, maybe it'd be button boxes or anything else that you need for a decent price, then please give them a shout-out. They are XS, X and S Sim Gear. Also want to give a shout out to PZ Overlays, the supplier of tonight's overlay, a man that has got a very is extremely talented at making overlays, and he supplied our overlay tonight. Just want to give a shout out to Paul Zota. If you want to get in touch and get a decent overlay for your broadcast, go to PZ Overlays.
And I'm still waiting to hear if anybody can catch the joke that's on my desktop background right now.
Go back.
Okay, so a little bit of a misfire there. As Sam, I can't get over just how close the action was and how much skill all those drivers just showed, where it was an oops with inside 10 laps to go that brought out the caution.
Absolutely, I'm struggling to find the words that are like for this race. I mean, that was some of the cleanest racing we've seen all year, and yeah, we had a caution, yeah, we had the big one, but those guys really took it to each other tonight. Yeah, there was a few moments where they were a bit scared to make a move, but it was just exciting racing, and again, I'm just looking forward to see what they can bring us in the second duel.
Absolutely, as league management currently right now, they are working on getting that second session up for us. So again, folks, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you like the action that you're seeing up on the track. Go ahead and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, but then drop your iRacing screen name in the comment section below, and we'll get that passed along to the league management and see if we can't get you added into a future race with the Pasky Sports Cardiac Cup Series powered by XS Sim Gear.
And while we're switching over to the next duels, shall we go through our schedule for the week, Tony?
Absolutely. Tonight, of course, we've got the Pasky Sports Cardiac Cup Series powered by XS Sim Gear. Dual race number 2. Tomorrow night is going to be the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League IR05 season opener at Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. Wednesday night is
Top Fuel Racing.
Top Fuel Racing from Kansas? Yeah.
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. So we're going to Sin City with the DW12s on Wednesday. Thursday is going to be fan choice night.
Yep.
As you had to ask me the simple question is where we're going. I believe that one's Kansas with the International Sim Drivers Club, and you're going to be with the Somo Racing Series. Where are you guys this week?
The Monster Mile.
Dover. Good grief.
Yeah. We're off to Delaware, folks.
Hey, have some crab for me while you're there.
Uh-huh.
Some of the best crab in the country.
Friday night, we're back there again with the Go Fast Racing Grand National Series in the Xfinity cars. And Saturday, we go Classic again. We've got more Beaufort franchises. We're back again with the
Major League Esports.
With their KNN League, the Catalyst Mint Series. And Tony, you're back again with the Pasky Sports for God's sake. Cardiac Cup Series powered by Excess Sim Gear. And where are they?
Kansas
again. So fun week ahead of us, guys. So if you're interested in joining that, then please do not miss what we've got coming up. And obviously, Sunday, we're back again with the IndyCar Speedway League as they go to Kansas again in the IR18s. But one thing I want to point out, Top Fuel Racing has a big event coming up, guys, and they are actually looking for drivers. So they've got their own Indy 500 event coming up, and they need some. They want some drivers that are interested in some safe racing, love the DW12, and fancy giving it a go to win some money at the home of American motorsports. And if you're interested in joining Scott Brinson and the guys at Top Fuel Racing for their Indy 500 event, then please wait till this broadcast is finished. Drop a comment in the comments below to state that you're interested, and we'll have a word with Scott Brinson and see if we can get you signed up for that race.
And unfortunately, from the looks of it, Alex may or may not have oopsed.
Oh dear.
Because I'm still not seeing the session up.
Yeah, it's going to take a bit of time, but we will get there. And Brad Ray's asking for a shout out, Tony.
Hi, Brad.
And for some reason he said great broadcast, Sam and Tony. So nice words there from Bradley Ray. We've got Papa Smurf Hero in there. That is actually Mr. McDavid. That's got the name Papa Smurf Hero. So interesting name. He says Brad Ray says $20 is $20. Interesting.
It took somebody long enough to find it.
Yeah.
That would explain why Brad Ray wanted that shout out.
Oh yeah, I've just noticed it. Yeah.
I was wondering how long it was going to take somebody to realize what was going on there. I told them I was going to hide something on my desktop because they were. Well, make sure you remove all your questionable stuff. So, and if anybody can tell me what that logo is, you'll get the joke. And it has to do with. Well, I'll tell you right now, Sam. You'll get the joke. What that logo has to do with a lot of the reason why Bofa Broadcasting has its own TeamSpeak channel now.
Yeah. Because we don't get along with Discord pretty much.
True story. As who just joined our channel?
It's me. Just a heads up, I'm having some issues getting Duel 2 to launch, so apologies for the delay here. I literally set the field twice, and I've hit continue, and it's just not doing it.
Well, we've got 23 people watching now on the YouTube chat, really having a bit of fun, so we're keeping them entertained while the next race is being sorted out.
Well, that's good. They got to watch me kill the field anyway.
And just watch yourself, because we are still live, Alex.
Yeah.
While I'm thinking of it, you know what? I'm going to bring Mr. Brad Ray up in here. Brad, congratulations on finding the hidden message.
He just muted.
And he just muted. So apparently he doesn't want to be up here.
User was moved out of your channel.
Oh. Spoil sport.
Absolutely.
So yeah, just want to point out that if you're just joining us on the Bofa Broadcasting channel, we have had one hell of an exciting event so far tonight. You did miss the first duel, but you can go back and watch it, obviously, once this broadcast is finished. But Just a recap, we had one hell of an exciting first duel with Mr. Oh, who?
Devin Doss.
That's the one. Devin Doss coming home with the win after some really, really close racing between everybody in the field. We only had one caution caused by the guy next to me, Mr. Alex Green. Sorry.
Yeah. That guy.
Yeah, that guy. But yeah, one caution in the race. Everybody racing clean for the most part, and definitely an exciting race. And as I keep saying, I'm looking forward to the second duel to see what they bring.
Yeah, I mean that second duel is if what we just saw in the first one is any indication, that second one is just going to be Katie bar the door. Because you take a look at the names that are going to be going off in that second one. It's a lot of heavy hitters. You've got Bob Lacavara, you got Dylan Moskowitz, you got Quentin Young in there. Tristan Walker, who's always strong in the full fender stuff. Brent Elmore. Len McNeese, never count Len out of anything because he'll make you look stupid faster than you can blink. So
yeah, and we got our brother from another mother, Mr. Kevin Pasky, which is in that field, so don't count him out either.
And we've got a gentleman who already has one win at Daytona this season. Mr. Byron Rodney is going to be joining that field, as well as Cody Ober is going to be in that one as is John Napier. So
the Duel 2 field, just like the Duel 1 field, is going to be stacked full of phenomenal evolution races.
Well, you're going to have, 1, 2, 3 in that one. Plus, you're going to have 2 drivers from Strange Nuts, and you've got one of our unofficial teammates with Mr. Hoop Baker in there. It's a stacked field. It's almost, I dare say it could be likened to a murderer's row. If you were to go to your local short track and for a special race and you see a heat race stacked up with, you got this past champion and that past champion, and this guy's won this big race before, and this guy's won this big race before, and they're all in the same heat. And it's like, oh yeah, somebody's gonna die.
So let's go for the field for the second duel. We've got Hoot Baker, Shane Neuswanger, Tony Rice, Len McNeese, Bob Lacavara, Brent Elmore, David Wilson, Dylan Moskowitz, Mark Mitchell, Mike Miller, Quentin Young, Steve Thomas, Tanner Costa, Tristan Walker, and Wayne Carroll currently waiting to enter the next session. Obviously, we've got a couple more waiting to go in as well that aren't on TeamSpeak, so we're definitely going to have a stacked field for duel number 2.
Well, you've also got you got Brad Ray, you've got Kevin Paskowitz, Cody Ober, Byron Rodney. There's just, as well as Lonnie Barrington, Patrick McDavid, Ron McManus, Shane Norton, the list goes on. So I mean, it's gonna be a stacked field. Not that we didn't have a stacked field in that first one with defending Pasky's Cardiac Cup Series champion Ronnie Osmer.
He's naturally a little upset with me.
Well, yeah, but you're kind of used to that, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I'm used to people being upset with me after races.
Just want to go back to Lonnie Barrington. He was actually in the first duel, so he won't be taking part in the second one.
I stand corrected.
I'm going to try something new to convince iRacing to actually put the session up. I'm going to schedule it 5 minutes from now and see if maybe, just maybe, iRacing will be like, oh, okay, that's what you're trying to do. Ideally, that's how it's going to work, but...
Okay. So, welcome to my hell.
Brad Ray said, pull me down, boys. So I don't know what that was about. We got another couple of people, new people chatting. We got Double D in there, and Brad Ellison is in the chat.
There he is, Mr. Brad Ray joining us. Brad, So finding the hidden message there.
Oh yeah, it was actually pretty clean. I thought you were going to do something a little bit more risque there, Tony.
No. We're a PG-13 stream, and the joke there is, people are constantly asking those of us here at Both Broadcasting, what do you guys charge for a race? Well, that icon is actually for Discord, and
Right.
Discord, in dealing with the leagues that have been using Discord for their chat service, unfortunately is now the reason why Beaufort Broadcasting has its own TeamSpeak channel.
Only because a little bit.
Only because some of our guys can't get Discord to work properly during events. So, but yeah, no, $20 is $20.
That's right. I'd take it. I was racing for the 10. Alex, you're a good guy, baby.
Yeah,
Hold
I
your
try
line.
to be.
Hold your line.
Thanks.
All right. Well, Brad, we'll let you get back down in there. As Mr. John Napier joining us again. John, one of the higher ups at series sponsor XS Sim Gear.
Just got some
inexpensive sim racing peripherals that hopefully every working person can afford without having to mortgage their house.
Yeah, we just got some exciting news, Tony. The XS Sim Gear logo will be on the side of a super modified car for the rest of the season.
Hey, wait, whoa, hold it, back up. Super modified?
Or a modified.
A modified or super modified? Because you have my attention if it's super modified. Being as I am from, near Oswego, New York, home of the super modifieds.
I believe it's a super modified.
Whose car? And I'll tell you.
James Bondurant.
What?
James Bondurant?
As in Bob Bondurant's grandson.
Yeah. I don't watch Super Modified, so I'll let you guys just talk it out for a bit because it's completely. What's the PG-13 word I'm looking for?
There's the car, Tony.
Outside of your wheelhouse.
That's the one. I don't have much experience. If they had super modifieds on iRacing, I might race them and get a bit more familiar with them. But
what the hell is that?
That looks like a drag racer.
That's a late model.
That's what I meant to say. Late model. I'm sorry. I got a lot on my mind right now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are wondering what the heck we're talking about, there's the car that was mentioned that XS Sim Gear is going to be going on to for the remainder of this season in real life. So congratulations on that, John. But while we are at this, just so people know what we're talking about when we say super modified.
My session. Are you kidding me? Of course. It was going so well.
It was.
I'm gonna try relogging in here and seeing maybe I'm having connection issues.
Fair enough.
We may have to.
Oh, let's see. Where do we want to go with this one?
User joined your channel.
I will be back when I have something. I'm gonna put you guys in there.
User left your channel.
As joining us in the booth is Mr. Hoot Baker. And maybe not then. Okay, he's left again. So sorry for the boring part of this broadcast, guys. As Hoot Baker's back again. Hoot, you're looking forward to the second duel?
Absolutely, sir. And didn't mean to bump in on the broadcast booth there. And I'm down with the other drivers getting ready for stage 2 there. And just going to come up and see what was going on with setting it up. But hello to everybody, and good seeing you guys.
So yeah, you obviously witnessed the first duel there and how exciting that was. I just want to ask, how are you guys going to top that? Because that was one hell of a barnstormer.
True story.
Well, actually, sir, I didn't observe it. I was down managing, getting all the drivers together. We were out there eating tacos and stuff and smoking cigarettes and drinking water. So a lot of us didn't actually observe the first race there. So.
Oh, then.
Well,
that escalated quickly.
Well, you know, that goes sometimes.
Well, he said tacos. That escalated it by itself.
True story. So, getting back to what we were just talking about previously, when John said super modified, ladies and gentlemen, what you're seeing on your screen right now is the first thing that popped into my mind. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with what you're seeing, those cars are probably the most radical and fastest of all short track vehicles in the world. Between 65 and 75% left side bias, big block V8s running on methanol. And when I say big block, I'm talking 467 cubic inches on methanol, putting out roughly 1,000 horsepower. You know, they race weekly at only one track in the world, and that's Oswego Speedway in Oswego, New York. I grew up on these cars. So when John said, yeah, we're going to be on a super modified, I won't lie. I actually had a tingle in certain parts of my body. like
so
really.
Much for being PG-13, Tony.
That's as PG-13 as it gets. And just so you know, growing up, there is the race car of my hero, the late great Jim Champagne. So, and those of you who have seen my Facebook page, you'll notice that there's a picture on that page of, and the caption reads, of a pavement modified, not a super modified, but of a pavement modified, a NASCAR style modified. And it says, I have 1,982 reasons to hate this car, and I'm only going to give you 8 guesses as to why. And so far, only one person has gotten it right, and that unfortunately was a picture of the car that Jim Champagne unfortunately lost his life in back in 1982. Yeah.
I've heard that name, even though I'm not familiar with super modified. So yeah, definitely a legend in that category of racing. Just want to go to the Facebook chat because Michael Whitaker's asking who's got the popcorn.
Hoot does.
Hoot does. No, apparently you had tacos. Which reminds me, I want a taco now.
Do you guys even have tacos over there?
Yeah, we do. But we have to make them ourselves. We don't have them sold in restaurants and stuff, so...
Well,
we do. There's a burrito place in Cork City.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, but they sell tacos in there.
I would just have issues buying burritos and tacos in Ireland.
Just like I would have an issue buying haggis in Mexico.
Exactly.
For the exact same reason.
Now, for the record, haggis is Scottish, so it's different. Although there are a lot of sheep over here in Ireland, so maybe the tacos would be full of sheep, full of lamb meat. I'm not sure. I don't know. No, that would be called a kebab if that was the case.
No. A kebab is meat on a stick.
See, our definitions of a kebab are different.
But see, Sam, when you said there was a lot of sheep in Ireland, just be glad that Tony reminded me that the stream was PG-13.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, John. I was thinking the same thing.
So while this has turned into a relative podcast while we're in between races, just want to go back to XS Sim Gear, John. Just want to give us just want you to give us the lowdown on what XS Sim Gear is all about.
Well, we're very much in the R&D stages right now, Sam. Like I said, we're working hard to put out a quality product. As a matter of fact, today we just turned over our first designs to the bank so they could approve them. Which is something I don't ask because it's something I don't understand. Because I don't see how they're going to really understand what they're looking at. but we're going for, like I said, a quality product, something that'll last, but something the average user can use. You know, I spent a long time looking at button boxes online. Not only do a lot of them come from Europe, which makes shipping more than the actual button box itself, a lot of them are just outrageously expensive. And we did the research, and we found that we can make them relatively inexpensive and a quality product and still keep the prices down. We're out here for the sim community, and we're doing this more for the sim community than to get rich.
Fair enough.
Absolutely, and XS Sim Gear definitely got the right idea with bringing in affordable appliances for sim racing, and definitely, John, you definitely have the right idea when it comes to things like that. So definitely kudos on that one, and good luck with that one in the future, and hopefully we'll be seeing them in our stores very soon. Well, we'll be seeing people buying your products very soon, and I'm sure we will.
Well, we get the keys to our shop May 15th. We've already got a 3D printer ordered, and it's a 48 by 48 by 48 printer. We've got our vacuum table ordered for plastic and carbon fiber. So we're getting there.
So the button box is going to be made from carbon fiber.
There'll be carbon fiber laid over a plastic box.
Oh, okay. So that's very innovative there, John, and very, very good to hear. As we're going to be we're joined in the booth again by Mr. Alex Green. Alex, how's the race coming along?
Well, it looks like the clouds have finally parted from the sky that is my life right now, and Duel 2 is going live. The field was set. I'd like to thank iRacing for their great tournament management software. Really helped me out, guys.
So, yeah, Nim, get on that, will you?
You honestly think Nim Cross listens to any of the crap we put on the air?
Maybe.
Well, you haven't been banned yet, so...
I rest my case.
So the duels are up, Tony, so we're going to go... Yeah, they're up in the list now.
Oh, yeah, they just hit the list. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will be going live momentarily to dual race number 2. John, definitely best of luck with XS Sim Gear, and get with me, please, at the end of this event, and we'll talk more about what we discussed before we went on the air.
Yep. And really quick, Sam, the idea behind that was to give it the cool racy look of carbon fiber without the money that would be invested in a complete carbon fiber box.
So awesome, yeah. So yeah, John, as Tony explained, that is an awesome idea, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what you can offer. But we are getting to the Duel 2 now, and definitely get with us after the race, and we can go into more detail with it.
Will do. I'm going to jump back down in my garage and get ready for my race.
Okay, John, good luck.
Thank you, Sam.
User left your channel.
So we are going to duel number 2 now. So everybody strap yourselves in and get ready for this, because this is the second duel, as I keep mentioning. But Tony, going over the first race again, if that one is anything to go by, the second one is going to be absolutely off the chain.
That was impressive. That was seriously impressive. With the fact that the drivers were able to just crank off 21 consecutive laps before somebody stepped on their own junk and accidentally, took out half the field. Oh, hi, Alex.
Hi.
But no, we were saying it was impressive, the fact that you guys could go as long as you did before somebody had an oops like that. If that's any indication of what we can look forward to in this second duel, or any indication of what we can look forward to in the rest of this season coming up, for the Pasky Sports Cardiac Cup Series, powered by XS Sim Gear. It's going to be an impressive show.
Oh yeah, I was really happy with how everybody ran, and of course I'll take all the crap I get from that one. I'll explain again. Basically, what happened was I went to shove Whitaker, and he moved last second, and I just ran him over. I couldn't get off the gas in time. I was trying to get that inside line going, get clear. Oh,
speaking of Mike Whitaker, hi Mike.
Mike, obviously I'll personally apologize to you on air for that. I was trying to shove you, and it didn't work out the way I wanted it to, and I am sincerely sorry.
Well, he's here in body, but not in voice.
Obviously, I'll.
Hello, Mike.
Well, for what it's worth, it didn't work out the way I wanted it to.
But for what it's worth, you guys did have an impressive drive, both of you, coming from near the back of the pack to be in contention like you were. That was impressive to watch, and I have to say that I wish it would have turned out differently than it did, but it's still an excellent drive, and looking forward to seeing how you both cope next week in the bigger field.
As we've got typing in the background.
Yeah, my fault.
Because Alex is hot miking and beating the hell out of his keyboard. Anyways,
I'm still trying to keep this PG-13 tone.
Yeah, I know. Even though it didn't turn out the way I hoped it would, it was still a lot of fun. That was a good race.
Oh yeah, Mike. It was fantastic to watch from up in the booth, and everybody in the chat that are in there right now and watching live on YouTube and Facebook, they all enjoyed the first race, and hopefully we can have the same in duel number 2.
Well, on the plus side, usually when there's a dual race at Daytona, generally speaking, there's only one big one in one of the 2 duels. We just saw the big one in duel number 1, so it bodes well as far as history goes for what we're going to see in duel number 2.
So, get your hate mail going to Tony Chapasu, Baldwinsville, New York, PO Box OU812.
Oh, I thought you were going to use PO Box 90210.
OU812.
Yeah, I know that one too.
Yeah, hot laps underway in duels number 2. Everybody seems to be racing somewhat clean so far, so the people that are in the second group of drivers getting a feel for the track as I believe the track state is set to 0 again, Alex?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so everybody laying some rubber down before they take to the green again. We're just under 4 minutes before we do go green. Currently, Tristan Walker is the man at the top of the hot lap standings with Len McNeese in second place.
Len McNeese is one of those drivers that you never want to count out of a stock car event. He knows where he needs to put the car in traffic, or truck in this case, to get the result that he's looking for. As McNeese goes to the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, McNeese has been impressing me this past week. I mean, last week at Talladega in another league that we broadcast, he actually got a big win last week, and yeah, it was in contentious circumstances after we witnessed the big one, but Len McNeese was a very, very popular winner in that race last week.
And if you take a look at who is on Len McNeese's truck, that is a team truck to our very own excuse me, our very own Cody Eldred, Old School Motorsports on the tonneau cover of that Jägermeister number 84 Chevy Silverado.
And obviously, unfortunately, Cody is not with us tonight. He's racing elsewhere, so he's got other commitments tonight. But hopefully we will see him next week in the main race, but obviously it's going to be a non-qualifier and starting from the back if he does. But yeah, definitely repping the old schools motorsport on that number 84, and really it's really working for him right now.
Tony, you still have the XM logo up on the stream.
Cool. Well, got that out of the way tonight. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, meanwhile, Tony's repping XS Sim Gear still. So, yeah, if you want cheap button boxes or whatever for your sim racing career, then please do get in contact with John and the other guys at X and S Sim Gear.
Find them on their Facebook page.
Talk about a segue, right?
And speaking of the crew over at XS Sim Gear, we got to thank them for providing the brand new Bofa Broadcasting logo that you can see at the top left of the screen. John Napier, thank you so much for taking the time to do that for us. Could not be happier with the way that one turned out. It kind of reminds me of the broadcast logo of a company that I once used to look up to because of the broadcasting that they used to do for the motorsports community back when they still gave a damn. I said it.
Not wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong though.
I miss Thursday Thunder.
Yeah. Have a look at Quentin Young. He's actually pushing Byron Rodney around the track right now, so everybody getting some drafting practice in as we're just over 15 seconds before the end of hot laps.
And I still say you need to do that logo idea that I mentioned to you, Sam, with the next paint scheme you do for Byron Rodney.
Yeah. I need to change it to student driver. It's not supposed to be student driver. It's supposed to be learner driver. It's supposed to be. I put it as learner driver as they collide in the road.
Jeez.
Quentin, what are you doing?
Hot laps are over with, and he's gotten to the point where he's just blowing off some steam before
I think
the
got a backup car going in there.
Get it off the trailer, boys! Hurry up! Oh,
you guys need somebody to translate Sam's English into the English the rest of us use. Just let us know.
The United States and the UK, two countries separated by a common language.
I'd also like to thank XS Sim Gear for providing this rough for the Daytona duels. I heard John stole it out of the parking lot himself.
Anyways, starting up on the pole for this one is going to be Colton Ix, representing Club Illinois. Mid-South, Mark Mitchell is going to start outside row number 1. Row 2 is going to see Indiana boy Brent Elsmore. He's going to be joined with Texas native Ohio native via Texas of John Napier. Dylan Moskowitz from Texas and Club Ohio's Kevin Paskowitz can make up row number 3. Row 4 is going to see Pennsylvania posse member Bob Lacavara. He's going to be joined with David Wilson, the California Kid. Row 5 is going to see another Pennsylvania posse member, Mr. Wayne Carroll, and he's going to be joined with Georgia native Len McNeese.
Row 6 will be Byron Rodney and Tanner Costa. Row 7 will be Quentin Young and Tristan Walker. Row 8 will be... Yeah, I am right. Row 8 will be Michael Miller and Hoot Baker. Row 9 will be Steve Thomas and Cody Ober. And bringing up the rear will be... Wait for it. Shane Neiswanger and Ronald McManus. I got there eventually. Don't judge me.
Better late than pregnant.
Don't judge me.
Too late.
And you know, of all the rookies that we recruited this week, a lot of these guys did come from Talladega week. That's where we got a lot of our name. And one of the guys that really impressed me the most of them was Colton Nichols up front there. Guy's fast. He holds a good line. He's one of the guys I think is probably going to be up in that front row for the race next week.
Absolutely. As they are making their way through turns 3 and 4, getting ready to take the green again for dual race number 2 here at Daytona. The Pasky's Cardiac Truck Series is about to get underway next week for the main race, but tonight it's all about the jewels, and here they are coming through the tri-oval, Tony.
Roof pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn onto the pit lane. And we are live for duel number 2.
Inside line got a good shove. Ryan Ronnie came back and Bob really quick there. I don't think the inside got the start they were looking for.
And it looks like Colton Hicks may have gotten too good of a start, as right now he's kind of hung out to dry. Mark Mitchell working that outside line as Paskwich and Napier trying to get that outside line caught back up. It's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, as we've got Dylan Moskowitz on the inside line, along with Bob Lacavara back there. They're sitting behind the 31 of
Brent Elsmore.
Brent Elsmore, that's the one. And he's a normal mainstay in the truck series, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so a lot of the usual runners up at the front there, a few of the rookies at the back. The only rookie that I can see up there is Colton Hicks, so really making a name for himself up in the lead right now. On the outside is
Mark Mitchell in the 99.
Yeah, my ATVO's being a bit of a...
KP's collected. Yellow flag is out. Ober's collected. That's half the field right there. Oh, and Cody gets hit again by the 78.
And there's the big one already, ladies and gentlemen. On lap 2 of 30, the big one has happened. Both John Napier and Kevin Paskwich involved in that as well, so hard luck for the number 7 and for the 99. As
it looks like netcode.
Not the 99. What number has John got? The 18, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm too used to seeing John in the 99.
That was all netcode.
Yeah, it was. There was no contact between the drivers, as Mark Mitchell was a victim of the dreaded netcode incident there, and that caused the big one. A lot of good trucks involved in that one.
Actually, you know what that was? I'll tell you exactly what that one was as soon as I can find the right view. Keep your eye on the 99 at the top of your screen.
Oh, yeah.
That hit from the 78.
Yeah.
That's a lot of torn up trucks. Hoot Baker involved in that one. Paskwich involved in that one. Miller involved. Wayne Carroll in the 22 involved.
Hoot's in it.
Yeah, Ober involved. Obviously, Mitchell was the architect of that after that little netcode incident. And Quentin Young was in it as well.
Quentin Young involved. From the look of it, most people are bringing it down pit side just to make sure. And I can't say I blame them.
Is it just me, or does the 5 of Bob Lacavara have a little bit of rear damage?
I
don't know if he got caught up in that or not.
He has a slight bit of damage, but not...
A little bit of damage? That roll pan is caved in, my friends.
Yeah, so that might affect his overall speed, as we've got Brent Elmore and Dylan Moskowitz also staying out. So some people taking it down pit road. Colton Hicks was the lead coming off pit road. Well, the first person off pit road. So he's down in 8th place now. Wayne Carroll is there. He's just coming off pit road too. But yeah, Brent Elmore and Dylan Moskowitz staying out.
Gotta wonder what was going on with Hicks. Not sure why he went down pit road, but something wasn't right with that car, or truck, I mean. And apparently he wanted to get 4 Dr. Feelgoods and make sure that he had some fresh rubber.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of torn up race cars back there.
Good news, Tony. There's no trucks out there that are going to make you hungry.
The heck, there's not.
That Tide Pod car is getting me kind of hungry.
Are you not familiar? Are you not familiar with what a burger is?
Oh yeah, forgot about that place. Yeah, there is something on there in that field that you shouldn't eat, kids, and that is the Tide Pod machine. That's not food. Don't get hungry at that one. Yeah, I went there. Awkward silence.
Anybody else hear crickets?
Yeah, me, and I told the joke. Anyway, yeah, I do see the Whataburger logo on Dylan Moskowitz's car now, so yeah, that's a food one. As the lights are off on the pace car, they're just making their way through turn 2 now. We've got Brent Elmore at the front. We've got Dylan Moskowitz second, Bob Lacavara third, Tristan Walker up to fourth now after that melee. Shane Neiswanger from the back of the field up to fifth place already. So him getting round all that wrecks has really worked in his favour. Steve Thomas sixth, Byron Rodney in that PH Aware truck is in seventh.
We've lost half the field.
Yeah, easily half the field. But if you're Brent Elmore right now, you gotta like the view from up there.
Oh yeah, but he's got a very hungry driver in Dylan Moskowitz right next to him for the restart.
Dylan's no slouch on these plate tracks either. As a matter of fact, he actually got, if I remember correctly, he did get a win last year in the DW12s at Dega. The only missing out on the postseason due to lack of starts.
I believe you're right. I know Dylan has been really strong in the Xfinities this year. Hasn't had the luck yet in the Gen 6. He's only started one of the 2 races.
Those cars off and we're underway again.
Great start from Brent Elmore.
Yeah, but I can't help but think that he's going to be chased down by Bob Lacavara, who looks like he's about to move up into second place on that inside line. On the outside is Dylan Moskowitz, not getting off to the best restart. And Bob Lacavara is going to move up to second. And the 97, not the 97, the 49 of Shane Neiswanger is going to move up to the third spot. Remember, he started on the back row of this field and he's already made his way up into the top 5, guys.
Yeah, and here comes Moskowitz on the high side with a lot of help from Tristan Walker in the Tide number 3.
Yeah, getting a good run on that outside. Still not able to get the right momentum to get the clear on Brent Elmore, but Dylan Moskowitz definitely liking this situation, as that looks like it's Wayne Carroll on the back of those 2 cars at the front in the outside line. So more help for Dylan Moskowitz as they make their way over the line, and we are now 24 laps to go.
Outside line really starting to get formed up. You know, Dylan wants all the help he can get. You'll notice here as they go through the straightaway, he's really getting a good run, but they're getting it back, which is typical in these high-bank plate tracks. So, at least in last race, as it came down to the wire, Isaiah was telling Devin to shove him into turns. Usually a taboo on these tracks, so every little bit you can get on that high side helps.
Yeah, as Wayne Carroll now drops from the bottom line. That leaves only Byron Rodney there at the back. On it, it looks like he's lost the draft a bit from Tristan Walker, so he's going to try and get up to the back and hopefully help those 2 cars on the outside line as they cross the line again, as Brent Elmore still leads, Bob Lacavara second. No, Dylan Moskowitz is going to take second on the outside line. It's very close between those guys at the front. Well, Brent Elmore's got the clear, but they're 2 by 2 behind him.
2 by 2 behind him and about as many deep as right now. The 22 of Carroll Jr. dropping down, and they're into lap traffic. Oh, that was a little bit of a pucker moment there.
Yeah, that was Mark Mitchell that they just passed there.
As
Bob went a little bit in that inside line. Don't know if he's trying to air it or not.
He's trying to air it out right now. As you know, Bob Lacavara, there's only a handful of guys in iRacing that when I see them behind me at a plate track, I don't get nervous. And Bob is one of those guys that I know he knows when to push, when not to push. He knows how to push, and I know I'm not going to die.
Yes. Oh, gets a bit squirrely coming out of turn 2.
Shane Nicewanger almost turned him.
Yeah, and that was very scary for the number 5 there as they make their way into turn 3. They're all 2x2 now. Still not enough momentum for Dylan Moskowitz to get the clear on Elmore, but still right there on that outside. But they are getting very chippy now as they come up towards the line once more to complete another lap. And I was wrong, that wasn't Mark Mitchell that they put the lap on just there. That was actually Ron McManus who was just come out of pit road after getting some repairing some of that damage. As give that lap to Dylan Moskowitz.
10 1,000ths of a second at the line. That's insane.
Yes, here they come towards turn 3. Still 2x2. Nobody willing to make a desperate move right now as it's still too early. No one really wants to make that big move at the moment, but Tristan Walker looking at that third line already.
I'll tell you the X factor right now is this 86 and the 84 right here. Whichever line they go to is, I think, going to shift the power on whoever gets that good start here.
As we see, Len McNeese at the back of that field, back of that pack. He was on the outside for a short while. Now he's dropped to the bottom line. So people shifting places. I'm not sure if it's a case of whether they want to cool their engines down or if they're just trying to see which line is the fastest right now. But people definitely switching around as looks like Byron Rodney's going to try and take it 3 wide as they come down the backstretch. Here he comes and they are 3 wide for the lead now as Tristan Walker ditches that outside line. He backs off, thankfully. Discretion being the better part of valor for the 3.
I'm thinking he didn't really have a choice as Rodney went to the inside to split the gap and the 97 went with him. You know, that was one of those, well, I'm effed.
Brent Elmo going a little bit higher up.
There it is.
Yellow flag is out.
That's nice one, Byron Rodney in that, and that looks like it's Ix involved in it too, so disaster there for the 86, the 75, and the 49, Tony.
Let's take a look and see what did happen there. The 86 just turned down into the 47 or 49, and Byron Rodney in the 75 nowhere to go.
Unfortunately, it looks like Byron Rodney didn't get as much damage as the other 2, so he fared slightly better, but still a torn up truck there in the 75.
Tore up.
Yeah. I mean, all 3 of them are still there on the track, but yeah, their trucks are completely torn up now.
Brent Elmore has got to be thanking his lucky stars. He doesn't care if this goes green again.
Ix, it looked like he was thinking about just jumping in behind, and unfortunately had too much of a run on the 49 and Nicewanger, and Nicewanger just got annihilated.
Yeah, and Byron Rodney just a victim of circumstance just there as he brings it into pit side now to get some of that damage fixed. Yeah, like you said, Alex, Brent Elmore must be thanking his lucky stars right now because he was really on the back foot as they were coming around those corners there. As it looks like Dylan Moskowitz was trying to finally getting some momentum in that number 97.
And that's kind of what we were talking about in that first one, Sam, where you know, these guys are on 13-lap-old tires. You know, they've worn all the goody off of them, so you know, the inside line, you're going to start slipping and sliding, and you're going to have to start really fighting the truck at this point, whereas Moskowitz doesn't have to turn as much, so you can keep it a little more wound up on the high side. This is really when that outside line is going to come in, when you're, you know, 13 to 15 laps in or later into a tire stint.
Yeah, we've had 2 cautions here tonight. I keep saying this, but Brent Elmore, yeah, Alex is definitely right. He's got to be the luckiest guy out there as still up there in the lead. As joining us in the booth now is Mr. John Napier. John, heartbreaking that first wreck. How are you feeling, buddy?
Disappointed, Sam.
I mean, you looked like you had a decent run going, and just unfortunately, the truck in front of you net coated and collected well over half the field. I wish it would have gotten different. Any chance of the team getting that truck back out there?
No, I had a 3-minute tow.
Oh, that's a shame.
Fair enough, John.
I was excited with, when I saw Kevin was starting behind me, I was really excited because me and Kevin have always ran well together, and I think the way we were positioned, we could have done great, and just disappointed.
16, David Wilson getting a lap back. Now he's going from 6 to 5 laps down.
So some people actually staying in it and hoping to get the best position possible. And let me just remind you about these duels, ladies and gentlemen, that are watching on YouTube and Facebook. These duels are not just for purely race wins. These are to set up the grid for next week's main race, if I've got that correct, Alex.
Correct. We just set the inside row with our race. The 20 cars who participated in that one are the... so Devin Doss is going to be the official pole leader of that one, and then this is determining the outside row. So right now we go another 15 laps. Brent Elmore could very well find himself sitting outside.
Yeah, and hopefully he can actually keep it there. As I said before, Dylan Moskowitz really, really hungry for this win tonight, and hopefully get himself in the best starting position possible. Bob Lacavara really having a good one tonight. He's in third. Wayne Carroll Jr. staying out of trouble. He's in fourth, and running out of the top 5 is Tristan Walker. He was up there with Dylan Moskowitz, but in that 3-wide incident just before the caution came out, I ended up having to drop back after being forced up to the third line.
Yeah, that was one of those, he saw Byron Rodney coming through the middle and gave him room, and then as soon as Moskowitz saw Rodney coming through, dropped down in front to try to pick up the momentum, and at that point, Tristan Walker knew, like, yeah, I'm screwed. So just kind of backed out of it, tried to get back in A line somewhere, and currently running 5th, so that's not that bad. Len McNeese, looks like he got most of the damage fixed on that 84 Jägermeister truck.
Yeah, it looks pretty clean. I know it looks like he might have a little bit to the front, and definitely that quarter panel's dinged in.
Yeah, one driver we've not talked about yet tonight is Tanner Costa. He's sitting in 7th place. Had a quiet race so far, as well as the person behind the 2 guys behind him, Steve Thomas and Michael Miller.
Thomas being a rookie, interesting to see how he's handling the pack racing so far. Little bit of damage, but that's to be expected. He kind of caught a piece of that early melee, but so far keeping it pretty clean as lights go out on the pace car.
As Shane Neiswanger is out on track again, as is Byron Rodney and Colton Hicks, but still quite considerable damage on the 49, the 75 and the 86, so don't expect them to get the high performance out of their trucks as we're about to go green again, Tony.
And another truck that's back out on track that looks like it's been through a war, no pun intended, is the U.S. Army number 12 of Mr. Boot Baker.
And he's right there in front of Byron Rodney, so I'm guessing Byron Rodney must have had EOL or something because he's behind lap traffic.
Speeding in. Out. I'm sorry, speeding out.
Or was it because he entered the closed pits because of the damage he had?
Part from column A, part from column B.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Elmore is going to have control of the field as they work their way through the 3-4 complex. Again, you are watching the Pasky Sports Cardiac Truck Series, powered by XS Sim Gear. This is dual race number 2 to set the starting grid for next week's season opener back here at Daytona. That'll be next Monday night, starting, I believe the session goes live at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So, field working its way out of turn number 4.
Green flag.
And we are back live. 15 laps to go. We're going to be 14 at the stripe. And Elmore getting a decent jump. Moskowitz is going to have a run on him as they get into turn number 1.
Yeah, but the catching him is one thing, passing is completely another. As we've seen on these plate tracks before, definitely difficult to pass as once they get up to speed. And it looks like Dylan Moskowitz is going to be forced on that outside, and he's going to need help again, once again, if he wants to get to lead. As it looks like Carroll is going to make his way to the front as well. As he's already chosen the outside line.
Chosen the outside line, but he's rolling a low, which is the most empty feeling you can have at a plate track, knowing that nobody's going to win.
As everybody's single file right now, except for Carroll. And you're right, Carroll is starting to get freight train now, so probably a bit of a bad decision. As actually Lebanese jumps up to the second line now, so he's got a bit of support there now, but I can't help but think he's going to need at least 1 or 2 more to help him get to the front.
Well, if anybody can get him to the front, it's Len McNeese. We've seen McNeese, do miracles on plate tracks before. And there goes the 3 of Walker. Walker hoping to have the same luck that Moskowitz had working with the 22.
As we are now 13 laps to go, just about to get down to 12 laps to go, as already they're catching lap traffic. I believe that is David Wilson they're catching?
Correct.
Look at the 22, just got hung out to dry. Oh, looks like 3's going to go with him.
David Wilson doing the correct thing and dropping down to the apron to let these guys battle it out. As we did have Shane Neiswanger, he's actually staying with the lead pack, so working wonders with that 49 now with all that damage on this truck.
And Byron Rodney, unfortunately, dropping back with all the damage that he has. We didn't know if that truck was that badly damaged, but unfortunately it looks like it might be.
Yeah, if you actually listen to it, I mean, he's definitely down a cylinder. This outside line is absolutely no help.
Oh, there goes Moskowitz as he joins the outside line, and he feels like it now is the time as they're coming up on. It looks like Ronald McManus are going to put another lap on, and it is. So Dylan Moskowitz, he gets.
Oh, we got contact, the 3 saves it.
Oh, flag is out.
No! There's a wreck behind him. That looks like it was McManus and Wilson getting into it, and it was. So the contact with the lead guys actually, I don't know what caused that actually, because
McManus got run over by Byron Rodney, and the 90 had absolutely nowhere to go.
Oh,
wow!
The absolute salt to the wounds for Wilson and McManus. They were already far enough down the field, and then that happened, and
Wilson wasn't involved in it.
Oh, was it Miller?
It was Miller in the 90.
Ah, so Miller, salt to the wounds for Miller, and a complete, excuse my language, a complete kick in the nuts for Ron McManus. Someone just twisted an engine.
That was Miller.
Miller's already behind the wall, but somebody else just twisted an engine.
Byron Rodney.
Ouch. Yeah, as Byron Rodney is back in pit road, and he had no choice. As, that engine did let go, unfortunately, for that 78. Not 78, the number 75, as now our new leader, Dylan Moskowitz, has caught the pace car with 10 laps to go.
No, you were right. That one was Wilson coming across the stripe. Just hand grenaded the engine.
So yeah, Wilson unfortunately going to be out of this event. Ronald McManus is definitely out of this event after that. Michael Miller out. Joining the long list of retirements, we've got Hoot Baker out, Paskowitz out, Young out.
No, Baker's
out.
on the track.
Oh. Staying in it. So Baker's still in it, but we still got Paskowitz, Quentin Young, Cody Ober, Mark Mitchell, and unfortunately the guy joining us in the booth right now, John Napier, also out of the race. So we've still got 13 cars still running. I've made that 12 because Ronald McManus is not out on track right now.
Yeah, call it 12 still running. Hoot Baker has a chance to make up at least one more spot, depending on how long McManus stays in pit. So, and there he goes, getting one lap back there as he gets the lucky dog.
So I've got to give Hoot credit. He's not giving up. He's actually staying in it, and actually he's going to get by staying in it. He's actually getting himself higher up the grid from it as well.
Which I'm not sure if that's the tactic I would take, because you're going to be starting right in the middle of the squirrel nest.
Squirrels have nests.
Sure, why not? But you know, like John's going to be starting shotgun on the field, which is probably one of the safest places to be at the start of a restrictor plate race.
Yeah. So 9 laps to go in the second of the 2 duels. The first duel was extremely exciting, but unfortunately for duel 2, it's been a bit more contentious when it comes to racing. We've seen a lot of unfortunate incidents that's led to 3 cautions tonight. Yeah, this one's just been a bit unfortunate for more reasons than one.
Yeah.
That whole thing actually physically gave me a headache, guys.
Understandable. As a matter of fact, I think that's even on the Excedrin page, Excedrin headache number 18, getting taken out during a qualifying race at Daytona. No, I'm sorry, it's on the goodies page. That's what it is.
Not to toot my own horn, but I've always been really good at coming back from the back of the pack. So
next week you get to prove it.
And unfortunately, you're going to have your son on the back of the pack with you, so you'll have some support there anyway.
Yep. And I've got Brandon's going to be back there with us too. So,
and hopefully Joe will be joining you too as well. So, if he's racing with the trucks,
I'm still trying to figure out why we're losing the pace car, gaining on the pace car, losing the pace car, and gaining on the pace car.
That's a mystery to me too.
Because Dylan Moskowitz.
That's not him. He's staying with the pace car.
No, he's not. No, he's not. There's been 4 times that the pace car hasn't even been in the same shot.
Yeah, so we're going to go through our top 5 right here. Dylan Moskowitz is at the point. Brent Elmore second, Tristan Walker third, Bob Lacavara now down to 4th. Tanner Costa sits 5th. So Tanner Costa, the silent assassin in this race, he's been slowly moving his way forward, Tony.
Slowly moving his way forward and keeping that truck relatively clean, which is difficult to do here at the plate tracks as the lights finally going out on the pace truck or pace car.
Yeah, there's only 2 more. There's only 2 other tracks that have ridiculously long pacing laps in this this simulator, and that's Pocono and Talladega. So
I'm not a fan of the pacing laps at Indy either.
No. At least the sites are more favourable.
Any of the super speedways.
Auto Club isn't so bad.
Yeah. Let's agree to disagree on that one.
Anything where as soon as a car hits the wall, you're going 60 miles an hour for more than 8 minutes.
Okay, what about Michigan? Because that's another super speedway.
Yeah, I hate Michigan too.
Okay, Auto Club in Michigan is the same sentence. You know, they're interchangeable.
Here, okay, let's do it this way. Anything that's not a dirt race under pacing.
Yeah, I don't mind pacing it like Milwaukee.
They still make you pace for 5 laps. Whereas at a dirt race, you get the lap to catch the pace car, 1 lap to form up, the lights go out, you're green next time by.
That's true, as they're just making their way out of turn 4. Last throw of the dice for these guys, as we're going to be 6 laps to go when they go green again, waiting for the pace car to peel off. As there it goes, as
green.
Dylan Moskowitz gets them going again, as it looks like Elmore gets...
He spun the tires.
Yeah, he spun the tires on the restart, and that's going to shuffle them all back up again.
Well, you've got the first 3 trucks in line right now. Actually, everybody in the top 5.
The outside just did not get it together. They are getting freight trained.
Yeah, as the Silent Assassin strikes again, that's Tanner Costa moving up into the top 4 now by looks of things. So definitely taking advantage of Elmore spinning the tyres in that restart. And unfortunately, Lacavara and it looks like Carroll behind him really going to suffer from that.
They're going to have to try to shove in the corners. They have any hopes of catching right now.
As they come out of turn 4, we are going to be 5 laps to go for the end of the second duel. This is going to set the grid for next week's race. As a reminder, it looks like Byron Rodney's bringing it pit side. I think that truck is finally calling it quits tonight.
Yeah, you saw smoke as we came out of turn number 4. I'm thinking the engine on the 75 finally let loose.
Meanwhile, back with the lead pack there, 2 by 2 as they're bringing it down the back stretches. Tanner Costa taking it below the yellow line slightly, probably just to get a bit of air, as he's got trucks to his outside and can't really go up a lane to get some air into that truck, because he's right on the back of Kristen Walker right now.
Now, if you're the 3 car, are you thinking about going 3 wide?
I'm thinking about starting outside row number 2 in next week's race, and yeah, that's not how that's done properly.
Yeah, Lemon is shuffling Tanner Costa out onto the 8.
That's giving the outside the advantage here. Look at the 5. He's going to shove the 31 right here. Big shove coming from the 5.
As we have 4 laps to go, Byron Rodney looking to get back out on track, as yeah, there was smoke coming out of his truck, but he's managed to get it fixed slightly. But he's just going to see this race out, as the top 6 are all together now. The guys behind them have actually dropped away. That Tanner Costa losing the draft. It looks like Shane Niceone with that damaged truck is finally giving up the ghost, as he's stuck down that in 8th place. And now with 3 laps to go, and they're side by side going through the tri-oval. It's hard to say who's going to take this one, as they're still 2 by 2 going through turn 1.
31 has to side draft that inside pack. He's giving him too much room, and he's getting absolutely killed behind it. You have to kill the draft on that inside line to have a shot here.
And they've lost their support behind them as Carroll moves to the inside line. Will Tanner Costa, who has actually caught that pack now, choose that outside line? The answer is yes. He's chosen the outside line, so he's going to support the 31 and the 5 to the outside, but still not enough momentum.
No, he's not.
He's gone back to the inside again.
With as much as I was going to say, with as much as Tristan Walker's been touching the apron, I just see this ending poorly.
As we're now 2 laps to go, the popsicle sticks are out again, as this duel is going to come to a very, very fun conclusion, just like Duel 1 did. All of them together as they come through turns 1 and 2, Tony.
Dylan Moskowitz is just running away. He's barely got any help here, and it's still, look at the 84.
And here comes Len McNeese to the outside of Dylan Moskowitz. They're almost getting together as Carroll is deciding which lane he wants to choose. Up in the middle there, trying to get a bit of side draft going there as they come out of turn 4, or going to turn 4, and they're coming up on lap traffic. That could throw a spanner in the works, as that is Hoot Baker in front of them. They're coming across the line to go onto the white flag lap as they're shuffling backwards and forwards. Give that lap to Dylan Moskowitz as they go towards turn 1. Side by side, and here comes Carroll. Carroll's going to get the clear as they go into turns 1 and 2.
He's going to get the clear, but Tanner Costa right on the back bumper of Dylan Moskowitz. These guys are not giving an inch as we are in the final lap down the super stretch here at Daytona. Carroll and Moskowitz side by side, 3 deep in the bump draft right now as they work their way into the 3-4 complex. Here we go. Final corner. Moskowitz with a nose out front, getting pushed the daylights out of him by Tanner Koster. And Carroll's going to have a run. Going to be too little, too late. Moskowitz holding on.
Dylan Moskowitz, your winner of the second duel.
Koster hanging on for second. Wayne Carroll for third.
That's going to place Dylan Moskowitz outside on the front row for next week's main race here at Daytona. And Tanner Costa is going to be right behind him when they take the green next Monday.
You can't burn that truck up. You can't burn that truck up because you're going to need it here next week.
Yeah. Somebody tell Mr. Doss that because he did one hell of a burnout.
Already did.
Finish. He already burned out that truck in the first duel.
So joining us now, the guy who had a hell of a charge on the outside line, able to hang on for the third step of the podium, going to be starting next week's season opener on the outside of row number 3. Mr. Wayne Carroll. Wayne, that was one hell of a run you had.
Yeah, I did what I could. I came pretty close. I just didn't have the momentum, but you know, it was a good run. It was fun.
Well, Wayne, you were close there on the last couple of laps. Just didn't have the momentum there on the outside as the inside line really did come into play on the final lap. If you had enough help on that outside line, do you reckon you might have had something for Dylan?
Yeah, I thought I would have had something if I had a little more push on the outside. But we only had, you know, our 2 cars versus what was left of the field on the inside, so we gave it a heck of a try. It was a good run.
Absolutely.
I'm happy with third.
Yeah, and you finishing third means you're going to start on the outside of row 3 when we come back to Daytona next week for the main race. Good position to start for you on the outside of the third row, or are you going to have some work to do as when you go to the green?
No, I think that's a good spot. You know, I can do a little pushing, and I'll be up front, so I can stay out of what will probably be a little bit of a mess in the back. You know, how lap 1 can usually go. So starting up front, I'm happy with that. Yeah, I think we're going to have a good race next week.
All right, Wayne. Anybody you want to thank tonight?
I'd like to thank Alex Green and all the other admins for their hard work that they've done. You know, appreciate it, putting this all together. It's quite a nice setup we got here. Quite a nice league.
All right, Wayne. Congratulations on the podium tonight. Looking forward to seeing you start next week's race outside row number 3.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
User was moved out of your channel. User was
and
moved to your
joining
channel.
us now, the guy who's going to be starting next week's season opener outside row number 2, Mr. Tanner Koster in the 14. Tanner, that was a hell of a move you had there.
Yeah, with a couple laps to go there, I clipped the apron and I about lost it and was just hoping to hang on to the pack. And then last couple laps, it all opened up on the bottom and I was able to just push Dylan right on by to the win. So that was a fun last few laps.
So talk to us about how you made it through that early melee that took place. If I'm not mistaken, you drove completely under a flipping race car.
I very well might have. I know that they all piled up, and I got a slight amount of front damage there, and it didn't hurt the engine at all, so I fixed the 15 seconds of damage and just went back out and was keeping up, so I just kind of rolled with it.
All right, fair enough. So talk to us your thoughts about the longer race with a bigger grouping next week. You're going to be starting outside row number 2, which is not going to be too bad of a starting spot from what it looks like.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I like the longer races a little bit better. They tend to be a little calmer than these short shootouts, but I mean, it's nice to be able to start up front. I kind of messed up qualifying for this, so it's nice to come out of here with a second place. So.
All right. Anybody you want to thank tonight, sir?
Well, I got to thank my mom and my dad. They usually watch these broadcasts, and last time when they interviewed me, they were pissed off that I didn't thank them for watching. So, just that, I guess. Alex for putting on the league. I know he was struggling tonight, so glad we got the race in. It was fun.
All right, fair enough. So we're gonna let you get back down into the team chat there, and best of luck to you next week.
Thank you.
User was moved out of your channel. User was
And
moved to your
joining us
channel.
now, the man of the hour, driving the Whataburger number 97 tonight, able to come home with the victory in dual race number 2, and going to be putting himself on the outside of row number 1 for next week's season opener, Mr. Dylan Waskowitz. Dylan, hell of a finish, sir.
Thank you, guys. That was fun. It was kind of crazy. But, I don't know. I normally run in the back at plate races, and with it being a 30-lap race, I decided to go for it. Started 5th, stayed up there the whole race, somehow missed the first big one, which I just watched. It was insane. And did a slingshot around the 31 when the 3 came by on the high side and held the lead ever since. It was a fun race. I'd like to thank the 14, Tanner, giving a hell of a push on the last lap. He helped me stay. I think the 22 would have gotten it otherwise, and it was a lot of fun. So that's how it went.
Well, it looks like you guys are having a lot of fun there towards the end. Talk to us your thoughts about next week when the season opener comes back here. You're going to be starting outside row number 1. What are your thoughts there?
About the same. It's going to be interesting. If you can stay up front, it's probably the place to be, but I don't know how that's going to work for me. So, I don't know. I think we're going to have to just play it by ear. I think that would be the best way to run the race next week, because I think it's going to be crazy. And with it being the first race of the year, I don't see the point going for stage points at a plate track as much. So, we'll see how it goes. Everyone's going to do their own game.
All right, fair enough. Anybody you want to thank, Dylan? Anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
I'd like to thank Sam Cooper Bennett. I was asking for him on the radio, and nobody would let me talk to him. I was writing in chat how I love Sam. And with your support, Sam, I won this race, and I'd like to dedicate this race to really both Sam and Tony for running a great show. I watched the first race on y'all's stream. It was pretty fun, and I hope the second one was even better. So thank you guys for putting on a hell of a show. XS sim gear, kick ass. It'll be fun to see some new products, and of course PH aware. So fun night. I think next week will be pretty entertaining to watch.
All right, well, Dylan, congratulations on the win tonight. Looking forward to seeing you start outside row number 2 next week.
We're going to put Dylan in an in-and-out car for next week, though.
Nope. And I was just about to say, also like to thank the Whataburger team for running Whataburger. If you've never had Whataburger, you guys come to the South, get yourself some Whataburger, home of the Whataburger.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? Anyways, congratulations, Dylan.
Thanks,
and
guys.
I need to get to bed because that seemed too funny to me.
Little late for you guys compared to Central Time up here.
Yeah. So we'll see you next week, Dylan. Congratulations again.
Thanks, guys. Y'all take it easy. Keep it up.
User was moved out of your channel.
Well, let's take a quick look at the finishing order tonight, Sam.
Yep.
So starting outside row number 2 in the season opener next week is going to be Dylan Moskowitz. Tanner Koster going to start outside row number 2. Wayne Carroll going to start outside row number 3. Bob Lacavara going to start outside row number 4. Len McNeese, row number 5. Tristan Walker outside row 6. Brent Elmore outside row 7. Shane Neiswanger outside row 8. Steve Thomas outside row 9. And your pole sitter from tonight, Colton Colton Hicks going to be starting outside row 10. Then we've got Byron Rodney going to be starting outside row 11. Row 12 going to Mike Miller. Hoot Baker going to be in row 13. Ron McManus in row 14. Row 15, David Wilson. Kevin Pasquich going to be rolling off in row 16. Cody Ober in row 17. Quentin Young in row 18. Mark Mitchell in 19. And John Napier going to be rolling off from the 40th starting spot next week, which we've seen John come from the back before.
Yeah, that we have. And it's going to be an exciting grid for next week's race. Joining us in the booth is probably one of the most unluckiest drivers in that second duel, who stayed in it till the end, but didn't quite work out for you in that first wreck.
Yeah, well, you guys know my luck, man. What can you do? You're in the back, you try to slide around, and you try to avoid it, and I just got caught up, and had to get down there back in the pits, and had about 10, 15 minutes of repairs there. But we got her back out, and still got a P13 out of it.
Still got a P13 out of it, so you're going to be rolling off outside row number 13 next week. Going to be interesting to see how next week's race shakes out. Being that it's going to be a lot longer, there's going to be mandatory pit stops, and we're looking forward to seeing how that one plays out.
Well, you know what? It's always good times down there. We had a bunch of people we knew, and we had a bunch of new people. Everybody in stage 2, everybody behaved pretty well. Other than the one wreck, we had a couple of minor skirmishes, but that first wreck took a few out, and you do what you got to do down there.
All right. Well, Hoop, best of luck to you next week. I believe that's going to do it for us tonight. You have been watching a presentation of the Pasky Sports Cardiac Truck League, powered by XS Sim Gear. For all your sim racing peripherals at a reasonable price, XS Sim Gear, you can find them on their Facebook page, the letter X, the letter S, Sim Gear. That's going to do it for us tonight from Daytona. This has been a presentation of Bofa Broadcasting. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. If you want to get in on the action in a future event, go ahead and drop a comment in the post-race stream comments, and we'll see if we can get you added to a future event here in the Pasky Sports Cardiac Series. For Mr. Sam Cooper Bennett, for Mr. John Napier, for Mr. Alex Green, for everybody at XS Sim Gear, this is Tony Trapasso saying we will see you tomorrow night from Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for race number 1 of season number 4 of the IR05 Roberts Tech Jobs Indy Speedway League.
Good night, everyone.